And even if you get an answer and and maybe you don't understand the answer, well, then you can ask your teacher. But making you like actively I need to know this. Like, why did I make this mistake? Or how can I improve this? And to be critical about what the AI is giving them, right?
And are we going to lose touch with, like, I hear you talking about that understanding of like the value of it and the personalization and definitely I could see people progressing and having all sorts of amazing tools. And I could see the language teacher becoming, kind of like a coach role too, these types of scenarios. But I also see like over time, people losing context because maybe in the next 10, 15 years, the coach role is kind of based on the context that person learned from the previous part of their life without AI, and then we're going to have people who like learned with AI, but they're not going to necessarily be great real world context. Yeah. Like I was watching a YouTube video last night from a channel that talks mostly about YouTube channels themselves. And they were releasing, they played like 8 videos at once. And they essentially said, which one was not created with AI? And then they said they all were created with AI and they were all like amazing. And they talked about which businesses these are going to put out of business and how many like pieces of content now are going to be companies that used to focus on just selling content or certain types of video. Snippets or clips can now be created instantly. And but it's like this layering. It's almost like I'm just wondering if like that's going to happen, and with language, what that might look like. It's almost like going to a museum and seeing a painting of what a language used to look like, it's like out of space, out of time, like feeling distant from like when people used to interact in person and have conversational experiences that weren't driven from technology. And do you see any problems or issues with how technology teaches language that is the nuances of how technology teaches language than maybe you might get from if you had done solely instruction with a person in person? Even the difference, like I'm going to be very drastic. Say you taught someone one-on-one in a room versus using AI remotely coaching them. What would be the two differences in those types of learners? What benefits does the person have working with someone in a room one-on-one with you versus anything using technology?
I guess what you said about context is a big one, the nuances. I know that sometimes they complain about these apps because they make mistakes, as in like the use of a word. It really depends on the context. When you teach something, when it comes to language, you need to be aware of the context. It's formal or it's informal. So again, what you mean sense, and also imagine learning Spanish. Spanish is spoken by millions of people in different countries, and we understand each other, but we do say things differently. So again,
that's true. You can't generalize people's nuanced pieces of their language.
No, so, and there's no such thing neutral Spanish when they call it neutral Spanish. Well, there's no such thing as neutral Spanish, really. You can make it as neutral as possible, but no, there's not. We understand each other. Sometimes I do need some subtitles when I'm watching maybe someone from Colombia, or when they speak too quickly, I need subtitles to understand what they say in my own language. So just imagine.
So we'll just have to go into cloning specific language teachers who have very specific experiences they can pass on. Yeah, no, thank you for that deep dive. That was good. No.
Thank you. That was fun.
All right. All right. So here we go. We're going to do our February 18th DFE poll questions. These are poll questions to engage our audience with us. Me and Natalie are going to throw our quick opinions, but we're also interested in what you think. So if you'd like to give us your opinion, go ahead and go to the link that you see on the screen and let us know. We're designing these to kind of get your opinion because we think they're interesting. So do you believe that digital literacy should be a core component of education from an early age, Natalia?
We talked about this.